Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our Paul Travel virtual travel escape. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. I'm Rhonda Svihan. I'm the leisure manager at Paul Travel, and co-hosting with me is Julie Beckdash.
Hey, everyone.
Hi, Julie. Good morning. Also joining us, where we're really excited this week, is live from Italy. We have Francesca Pozzi and Alessio, I believe, Alessio. Alessio. You know, I took some Italian lessons, but I failed miserably, so sorry about that. Also joining them is Maria Angela as well. And
Hi.
she's actually in Puglia.
Yes, I am.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao, everybody.
So thank you guys out there for joining us again today. We've been having such a great time bringing you these presentations. It's been a real thrill for us to have amazing guests with us, and we can share with you. Really right now, it's a time that most of us are sitting back. I know the travel world is going to slowly start opening up, but we're sitting back and dreaming about where we want to go to next. And Julie and I really wanted to give you an opportunity to kind of explore some amazing destinations from around the world. And it just kind of helps you dream, keep on dreaming. So today we're going to bring you the southern Italy area of Puglia. I know most of you love Italy, and when you think of Italy, many destinations come to mind, like Rome and Venice. They're so popular, and really Italy is one of those countries that you can go back time and time again. I know I have, and I love it. I have such a love for the country. So we really wanted to showcase something a little bit different, maybe off the beaten path today. So it's going to be Puglia, that area. So before we get to it, Julie's just kind of going to outline a few of the housekeeping details today. Julie?
Perfect. Thanks, Rhonda. So I just wanted to let you guys know we have some of you are joining us maybe for the very first time. Some of you have been with us in all of our webinars, and we thank you. We're so happy you're with us. At the bottom, there's a Q&A box, and there's also a chat box. So the chat button, we'd love to know if you've been to Italy, where you've been, where you're hoping to go. If you're from Italy, like we'd love to know if you want to put some, or just say hello to us in there. And then the Q&A is any questions that you have now or throughout the presentation. If you want to put them in the Q&A box, then at the end of the presentation, I'll go through them, and we'll get our guests to answer the questions for you. And just so you know, all of our webinars are recorded, and they're on the Paul Travel website. It's just paultravel.com/webinars, or email us and we can send you the recording. Feel free to share it with anyone you'd like, or if you want to go back and watch it again. So now I will let you, Rhonda, introduce our special guest.
Thanks, Julie. Also, too, just a reminder, all of you, we've been getting some amazing feedback, both Julie and myself. Please keep it coming. We love hearing from you. Even after the webinars, you can send us an email as well. Thank you so much for your feedback. If you have any other destinations you think you might want to have a showcase, let us know. Okay, so with no further ado, I really want to introduce to you a couple of the amazing founders of their business, Andiamo in Italy. They have over 30 years of expertise in Italy, and they work specifically with guests, customizing, unique itineraries for all parts of Italy, and they work with everyone from around the world. Their passion and their love for their country is so infectious. Paul Travel has been working with them for several years, and I must say one of my favorite parts of being in the industry is getting to meet and know amazing people from around the world. And so I'm so excited to have you three with us here today and share a little bit of your lovely country. So welcome.
Thank you.
Grazie.
Grazie.
Thank you, Rhonda.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
This opportunity to show you a little piece of our beautiful country, which is Puglia, and We also have our local colleague, Mariangela, as you introduced her at the beginning of this webinar. She's local. She was born in Puglia. She raised there. She knows like her pockets, her region. And now she will show all of us a very nice presentation of the region, which is absolutely stunning. And as you told you, really out of the beaten paths and a must to see, because it's really stunning, very, very beautiful under all the aspects. So culture, history, enogastronomic tours, the lovely beaches, and so on. So I'm sure, and people, yeah, of course.
I have nothing more to add. We are friends since many years with Rhonda and Julie, and so we have this opportunity to introduce one of our most beautiful regions in Italy, hoping to welcome you very soon. And so we can start with the presentation, and anything you might need, we are here with great pleasure for you.
Okay, so should I start?
Yes, please, please.
Okay, okay. So, here we go. So, I'm Mariangela, and as Francesca said, I was born in Puglia, and I raised here, so I really know my region. So today I just want to, I would like to introduce you my region and trying to explain why you should come here and visit my very, very beautiful region. So, Puglia, yes, Puglia is situated in South Italy, and it's the easternmost region of the Italian hills. So the capital city is Bari, which is situated by the sea, and it's situated in the center of the region. The major airports are Bari and Brindisi. At the moment, there isn't any direct intercontinental flights to Bari and Brindisi, but it is possible to do a stopover in Milan or Rome and then to take a direct flight towards Bari and Brindisi. It is very easy to reach Puglia from Campania, the region where the Amalfi Coast and Naples are. It's about two hours and a half by car or by bus from Naples. Or also, it's very easy to reach Puglia by car from Rome, which is about 4 hours and a half. The other bordering region is the Basilicata, so the region where is Matera, so a very stunning city at about 1 hour by car from Bari. The sea are the Adriatic, Puglia, there are 2 seas, the Adriatic Sea to the east, to the east, and the Ionian to the southwest of the region. And we have 865 kilometers of coast. So sandy beaches alternate with rocky coasts and cliffs. The geography of Puglia is very heterogeneous because we have mountains on the north of the regions, hills on the west of the regions, and valleys in the center of the region. So several international magazines have declared that Puglia is one of the places to see at least once in life. And it's because we have a crystal clear sea, some of the most beautiful shores of Italy, mild weather all year round. So normally I suggest you to come in Puglia from April until the end of October. So it's we have a lot of months where you can come here and find a very mild weather. We have also amazing old town centers to visit, many archaeological sites, tradition and folklore, secular olive trees, and also an extraordinary culinary traditions. So this is Puglia.
because it's a very wide region. Normally, we divide Puglia in 4 big zones. So we have to the north, the green one, we call the Gargano, and it's the wildest part of the region. So I really suggest to visit this, the Gargano for those who love sport and nature. We have the Terra di Bari, which is the zone where is situated Bari, which is the land where are castles and churches and cathedrals to visit. There is the Valle d'Itria, the yellow one, which is the land of Trulli. The Trulli are the typical houses with a conical roof of Puglia. And southernmost, we have the Salento, the part of the region where there are the most beautiful beaches and shores of all the region. There, at the bordering region, the orange one is the Basilicata region, where is Matera. So now I would try to explain why you should visit Gargano, and showing also some of very, very beautiful picture of my region. So you should visit Gargano because of the Umbra forest, which is the green land of Puglia, and it's part from 2017 of UNESCO Heritage. So the Umbra forest is a national park, it's part of the Gargano National Park, and inside you can do trekking, biking, feeding deers, animals, and enjoy the nature of our beautiful region. Also, there are wild orchids that are very, very beautiful. So another reason is to visit the Gargano coastline. The best way to do that is by a boat excursion. So you can visit the Archipelago of San Felice, which is a natural architecture carved into the rocks by wind and water. You can visit the Baia delle Zagare with Faraglioni, which is very, very beautiful. This one. There is the Costa dei Trabucchi, which is the part of the coast between the cities of Vieste and Peschici. This is a trabucco, and a trabucco is an old fishing machine that today most of them have been restored and are transformed in restaurants or bar where you can take a drink or lunch at the sunset. It's very, very beautiful experience to do in Puglia. This is the typical landscape of the Gargano coast with Aleppo pines, and there are also very, very beautiful bays of sandy beaches or beaches with pebbles. So Gargano is very beautiful, and I really suggest for those who love nature. So you can visit also some beautiful villages overlooking the sea, like Vieste, or also this is a beach inside the city of Vieste. Another city is Peschici, which is like Santorini in Greece. It's all white and blue. It's very, very beautiful. Another city to visit is Vico del Gargano. Then Monte Sant'Angelo is the city where there is the Church of St. Michael, which is part of the UNESCO Heritage, and Sant'Agata di Puglia. So last but not least, another reason to visit Gargano is the archipel of Tremiti Islands, which is an archipel made by 5 little islands situated a few kilometers away from the coast of Gargano. And as you can see, it's really, really wild. So there is nature, and this is the paradise of scuba divers, because it's really, really beautiful to discover the seabed of this archipel. So there is a statue on the seabed, and with local guides you can go deep into the sea and touch and see this statue. So it's very, very beautiful. So why you should visit Terra di Bari? Bari is the capital city of Apulia, and its city center is one of the most beautiful of the entire region. So you can visit the Swabian Castle, the Cathedral of San Sabino, the Basilica of St. Nicholas. As you can see, Bari is situated by the sea, and the seafront, the Bari seafront, is one of the longest, or is the longest of entire Italy. So it's really, really beautiful. Also, it's really beautiful walking inside the Bari Old Town, where maybe you can find the massaie. So massaie are women that live in Bari, and they prepare onto the streets in front of their houses the orecchiette, which are the homemade pasta of Bari, of Apulia, the typical pasta of Apulia, ear-shaped. So it is possible to see these women that prepare this pasta onto the streets. You can also buy the orecchiette, and upon request, it's also possible to take a lunch or a dinner in their houses. So you can eat like a local Apulia. It's a really, really Apulian experience that you can do here in the old town of Bari. Another reason to visit the Terra di Bari, it's because the Terra di Bari is the land of Frederick II. So the emperor of the Holy Roman Empire, Frederick II, really loved Apulia, and thanks to his culture and will, he built some of the most important monuments of the entire regions, like castles and churches. One example is the Castel del Monte, which is part of the UNESCO heritage. So it's very, very known and particular because of its architecture, because it's an octagon with 8 octagonal towers. So it's very beautiful outside. Inside the castle is empty, but if you do a trip in Apulia, it's a must-see of a holiday in Apulia, so you have to visit it. There are also other castles built by the will of the Emperor Frederick II, like Trani Castle. And it's also Apulia, the Terra di Bari is the land of the churches and cathedrals overlooking the sea, like the cathedral in Trani, or the cathedral, the Duomo in Molfetta. Trani and Molfetta are 2 very, very beautiful cities overlooking the sea north of Bari. But south of Bari, there are other very beautiful cities to visit in Apulia, like Polignano Mare, which is a little village built on the rocks. So it's very particular. There are balconies where you can have a very beautiful panorama onto the Adriatic Sea. There are beaches. The sea is very, very beautiful, a crystal sea. And then there is also Monopoli. It's near Polignano, which has got a very beautiful, picturesque fishing port with these colorful boats. The city center is very, very beautiful. So I really suggest you, if you came here in Italy, to visit both of these cities. And another reason are the Grotte of Castellana, which are one of the most important attractions of entire Puglia and Italy. It is possible to walk for 3 kilometers to more than 60 meters deep in an amazing scenario made of stalactites and stalagmites. If you have aged clients or you are too aged, it's not very, I just not suggest for old people, aged people, because it could be a little harder for them, but it's very beautiful to visit them. Then we have the capital of Trulli, Alberobello. Now I can show you what a trullo is. So Trulli are the traditional dry stone houses with a conical roof that in the past were built as a temporary accommodation, but today they are one of the most requested accommodation by tourists during their holidays in Apulia. This is a Trullo, and this is the historical center of Alberobello, which is made only by this Trulli, and for that reason, from 1996, the old town of Alberobello is part of UNESCO heritage. So it's a very must-see of an holiday in Puglia. Most of these Trulli are situated also in the Itria Valley. So one of the most important characteristics of this area is the countryside, because Itria Valley, it's a countryside where the most important characteristics are the presence of Trulli, are the masserie, ancient farms that were renovated and transformed into charming hotels. We have thousands of centuries-old olive trees, like this one. We have olive trees with sea a few kilometers away, wet fields with sea. It's very, very beautiful. It's the peaceful countryside of Itria Valley. So I really suggest you to come here and visit this part of our region. There are also towers by the sea. It's really, really beautiful, I think, of course. Another reason to visit Itria Valley are beautiful little villages to discover, like Ostuni, which is also known as the White City because of the color of the houses. We have little squares, balconies with flowers, like in Loporotondo and other little villages. We have lots of balcony with colorful flowers. They are really little villages like Martina Franca and Cisternino, but it's really, really beautiful doing a walk inside the old town of this city center and eating an Italian ice cream. The southernmost part of Puglia is the Salento. And one reason for visiting Salento is to visit Lecce and Galatina, which are the cities of the Baroque architecture, like the Duomo and the Chiesa of Santa Croce in Lecce are the symbols of the Baroque architecture. So if you love architecture and churches and cathedrals, you have to visit Lecce. And because of this style, this architecture, Lecce is also known as the Florence of the South Italy. So I really suggest you to visit Lecce. This is the Roman amphitheater, and also Galatina. It's another little city not far from Lecce. In Salento, we have beautiful cities by the sea, like Otranto, where you can visit also the cathedral. There is a bauxite quarry a few kilometers away from the city center, which is really beautiful if you love nature and these very beautiful colors. And also the Punta Palacia lighthouse, which is the easternmost point of the entire Italy. So it's very, very beautiful. We have also city of Santa Cesaria Terme and Gallipoli to the, on the Ionian coast. Here we have the best beaches and seashores of the entire region. So we have rocky coast, like in the near Otranto, but the sea here is very, very beautiful and crystal. Otranto, we have also Castro Marina and Porto Selvaggio, or we have also sandy beaches like sea in Pescoluse or Ugento. After Puglia, we have the region of Basilicata, where there is Matera, which is a 1,000-year-old city, which is from 1993 part of the UNESCO heritage. The old town is completely carved into the stones. So here you can see the ancient houses, but there are also caves. These caves were inhabited since 1950s. So today it is possible to visit these old caves that were lived since 1950s, but I really suggest you to visit the city of Matera with a guide that knows very well all the routes of the centers. because there are a lot of ups and downs. So you have to take care when you visit Matera, because it's, if you have clients, it could be harder. But if you go with a guide, with a person that knows very well the city center of Matera, it's very, it will be a very, very beautiful experience to do. So after this presentation of the region, I would like to introduce you some of the opportunity of accommodations that you can find here in Puglia. We have masserie with very big pools. They are charming hotels. There are trullis with pools, of course. Other white masserie, most of them are situated in the peaceful countryside. So if you want to have a very relaxing holiday, I really suggest you to stay in a masseria. There are also hotels that are directly onto the sea with a very beautiful view on the sea. There are private villas with pool in the typical Apulian style. This is a typical Apulian breakfast. There are very lot of details and a lot of comfort. Even if masserie were old farms, today are very, very beautiful, charming hotel with all the comforts of a 5-star hotels. Pools, this is a masseria, other masseria. They are very, very beautiful situations to take a lunch or dinner outside. This is a very typical Apulian situation. There are hotels by the sea, restaurants by the sea. You can have also the opportunity to sleep in a real cave in Matera. So there are hotels situated in cave, but with comforts like in a 5-star hotel. And then after that, I just would like to explain which are the activities that you can do if you have an holiday in Puglia. So we can, it's possible to recreate a Puglian folk festival in Masseria with typical dances and crafts and dances of Puglia. It's possible to learn how to dance pizzica, which is the typical dance of Puglia. It's possible to suggest to you to visit some Puglian festival in all the region, how to do wicker baskets. You can learn how to cook like a real pugliese, cooking orecchiette or panzerotti, bread and focaccia. How to transform milk into dairy products like mozzarella, scamorze, and so on. It's possible to organize wine tasting, olive harvest during the months of October and November, and then do also olive oil tasting, cherry harvest during the months of June or May and June, yoga in Masseria, doing boat experiences in caicos, yacht, catamaran, organize helicopter tour, bike tour, trekking. It's possible also to do a vintage car tour, so it's a possibility to drive famous vintage Italian cars, like for example Fiat Duetto, Alfa Romeo, discovering at the same time the very beautiful landscape of Itria Valley, for example, Vespa tour, and hot air balloon. So this is a presentation of my region and all the activity that we can do here in Puglia. I hope that you enjoy it, and if you have any questions, you can write to me or ask him, Francesca.
That was amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to kind of mention, I was really lucky enough a couple of years ago to visit the city of Matera, and I did actually stay in one of the caves. And I must say, for anybody that is traveling to Italy, add this area on if you can. It was just such an amazing experience, so unique to be staying in a cave that is thousands and thousands of years old, and to learn about the history. And you are right, that city itself, you're doing a lot of walking, a lot of up and down, but it's worth it because you can burn off all the food and the wine that you drink.
Yes.
Yeah, so lovely.
That's excellent. Okay, maybe I'll go through a couple of questions, and then I have some as well. In southern Italy, are there many vineyards as well as the olive orchards, or is that more in the central and north?
Can you please repeat?
Oh, sure. Vineyards, and wineries. Are there many in this area?
Yes, of course. We have a lot of wineries in all the entire region of Puglia. So most of them are situated on the south, into the south, where the Primitivo wine is produced, and it's really, really known around the world. So yes, we have got a lot of wineries.
By the way, Julie, in Italy, the wine area is Tuscany, as you know, the central Italy, and some regions of the north. Then in the south, Puglia is probably the region with the most wineries, and Sicily. These are the two regions in southern Italy where there are wineries, more than, for example, in Naples area or in other parts. So in the south, Puglia is probably the region where we find more wineries than in other regions in the south.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And then you did mention that when that pasta, but what would be other regional foods that would be typical in Puglia?
Okay, so I have shown you orecchiette, which is the pasta with cime di rape. It's a vegetable that grows here in Apulia, so it's really, really typical. We have panzerotti, which is fried pasta with mozzarella and tomato inside. We have the focaccia, which is a bread, a typical bread with tomatoes on. We have tarallis, that are salt biscuits. There are a lot of vegetables that grow here.
I mean,
cheese, yes.
Everything.
Like, for example, mozzarella, burrate, caciocavallo, that there are a lot of typical food.
They are more lucky than us because of the weather, because it's rare that it's very cold, probably 1 month during the year. So everything, vegetables and everything,
they grow up much better than in other Italian regions. Yeah.
Okay, great. And then just in getting to the area, I know you touched on that, I think, at the beginning, but you say most people would fly into Bari, probably, right? And Rhonda, how did you fly when you went to that area?
Well, actually, I flew into Rome, and then we spent some time in the Amalfi Coast, and then we rented a car and drove down from Amalfi and down all through Calabria into that area. So, but you could fly if you are visiting south. We flew into Lamezia. That's more on the western coast, and then we kind of drove from Lamezia in through Calabria and then into Matera that way. I think Brindisi is another airport.
Yeah.
You could probably access it as well. And it's not that far by driving at all.
No. I think that it's better to arrive in Rome or Naples with a plane than Lamezia, because Calabrian routes it's not easy to drive.
It's the scenic route.
Yes, from Rome there is a very big autoroute, and it's much more comfortable, I think, that arrive in Lamezia. But Lamezia is also an opportunity. And yes, in Apulia, Bari is the biggest one. And I heard that they wanted to open our airport in Bari also to intercontinental flights. So maybe next year or in 2 years, there will be direct intercontinental flights from New York, I think. But
That's
we're
a
hoping so. I hope so.
I think it depends on the length of the trip, because if you wish to visit just Apulia, you can stay there, for example, 1 week or 10 days, because it's very long and there are many things to do. So you can fly into Bari and fly out of Brindisi or vice versa. Or if you want to add another area, the closest, more interesting are, as Francesca said, either the Amalfi Coast or Rome, because they are not so close but not so far. So it depends on what you want to do. But by the way, it's not so difficult to get there.
Mhm.
But the train system in the south is not as connected as it is in the north, right? There isn't, I don't think there is trains connecting Rome to.
In next years, in these years, the train system really grow up. So Bari is really good connected. There are, I think, 1 train per day that in 4 hours connect Rome and Bari.
Okay.
I read that during this summer they will have a direct train from that connect Florence to Bari and Lecce. So there are buses that connect Naples and Bari, and I think that they will add also trains from Bari to Naples. So Bari is very good connected. Then when you arrive in Bari, then I really suggest you or to rent a car. Yes, the best way to visit Puglia, I think it's by car. But if you want, there are also private companies, private companies. So it's not really difficult to visit Apulia.
Okay.
Also between Bari and Matera, there are direct trains. So if you are in Bari, for example, you can organize 1 day trip, a day trip in Matera. It's very, very easy.
Perfect. And would you say that would be a good, like if somebody didn't want to move around too much and they wanted a central spot to stay and do day trips out of there, would you say Bari would be the best? Or is there another?
Yes, Bari, it's in the real center of the region. So yes, Bari, I think that if you want to visit Gargano, and which is in the north, and then go and visit Lecce, yes, but normally I suggest to, for example, if you do 7 days a week, I really suggest to divide your journey. So sleeping 3 or 4 nights in the area of Gargano in one hotel, and then doing other 3 or 4 nights in another part of the region, because Apulia is the longest region of Italy. So from the north to the south, there are 500 kilometers. So, so
we know that for you 500 kilometers is nothing. But for us, it's a long distance.
Yes.
Perfect. And then how, in terms of like Mariangela, your English is very good. Is it pretty easy to communicate with the local? Like, do a lot of locals know a bit of English, or how does that?
Because of the growth of the tourism here in Puglia in the last year, yes, in Bari and in the biggest city, there are persons that knows English very well. But there are also little cities where English is not very, there are persons that speak not very good, but yes, in the main touristic cities, people speak English. So there is no problem. Absolutely.
By the way, Julie, if you ask if the people around speak English, that's what Mariangela said. Of course, we have with her English-speaking guides, English-speaking drivers. So
of course,
don't have to
people
worry.
involved,
Yeah, the people involved in the tour, of course,
speak English.
Probably, if you stop someone in the middle of the road, but it happens also here in Florence, not only in Puglia.
If you speak with the farmer here in the Tuscan countryside, most 90% he doesn't understand the word. I mean, if you go at a B&B in the historical center, of course, working with the tourists, they speak English and maybe also French or Spanish and other foreigner languages. Yeah.
Yes.
It's very common all throughout Italy. I mean, yeah.
Okay. And then another thing you mentioned when we were talking before, and that I think is good for people to know, is just make maybe the difference in price between a trip in the north, like in, you know, Rome, Florence, Venice, compared to in the south. You want to just touch on that a little?
The price?
Yeah, like the cost in the south is quite a bit less.
No, the cost in the south is a bit lower than in the north. You know, Venice is the most expensive city in the world, as well as London and New York. Then Rome is the second. Then Florence is the third. These are the most expensive places in Italy. The north is usually more expensive because it offers more than the south. And I mean, Puglia is...
But also because they have less than the south, because as Alessio told you before, for example, in Apulia or in another regions, they have their own vegetables, fruits. They do not have to purchase from other regions. I mean, it's like the wine we produce here in Tuscany. We have our own. We do not have to buy somewhere else. So we can keep the cost down, respect other regions, I mean, and be more competitive. This is also because this is an addition, I mean, why they are less expensive for sure, because they are their own producers of these local products. I mean,
of course, the deluxe properties are expensive, not so expensive probably as in Milan or Venice or Rome. They are expensive more than, for example, in other areas of the south. It's various, but in general,
life costs
it's a bit less expensive than other areas in Italy. Okay. And this is another reason to go there.
Yeah.
And it's probably not as crowded either as other areas of those, you know, in Italy. It's a little more spread out and not so touristy.
Yeah.
So being in the south, in that Puglia area, I imagine like it doesn't, like you were saying, it doesn't get too cold. So would it be a good place to go, like, you know, what would the temperature be, say, in November or December?
In November, between 18.
Wow, yeah.
Yes, it's really, really warm. So the colder one is January. January and February are the coldest months of the entire year. So we can have also 0 degrees, but a couple of days per year. So I really suggest to come in Italy, in Apulia, between the months of April and October. until the end of October because the temperature is warm. So if you want to go also to the sea and take a bath, you can do it because it's really warm. So we have a base also during the month of October, at the beginning of October. So I think that for Canadians, maybe that it's colder than in Italy. So you here is for you summer also during our winter, I think, because it's really, really warm and the weather is really good. So it's normally that sometimes it is rainy or during winter, one day or a couple of days during the winter, it could be snow, but it's really, really strange for us. So snow for us, it's strange.
Okay. Yeah, 18 is a nice warm day for us.
It is.
When we say cold is nothing for you, most
right. It's relative, exactly. Just in, you had mentioned diving. Where would be the best spot for that along the coast there?
So Gargano Coast and the Extremity Islands, because the seabed, it's a rocky seabed, so it's really, really beautiful. And also the coast of Salento near Otranto, because we have a rocky coast, and also the coast of Monopoli and Polignano. So
By
yes.
the way, on the Adriatic Sea.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, the Adriatic Sea, yes, because the most beautiful sandy beaches are situated also to the Ionian, on the Ionian coast. So yes, the Adriatic coast is the best part for doing diving.
Also because it's more rocky. I mean, if you have to do diving, you need rocky beaches and rocky sea. Yeah.
Perfect. And then just going back to the temperature and going in the winter, maybe, do you have, are there long stay packages, like an apartment, maybe self-catering units that people may come for 3 weeks or a month that would be suitable?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Okay. Problem.
Okay, perfect. And then you did mention some festivals. What times of year are some of those, or what would be the biggest festivals in that?
During the summer.
Okay.
Okay. Most of them are religious festivals. So we in lots of little villages or big villages, we organize festivals with lights, fireworks for the saints. So with processions and with bancarelle, I don't know how to say it in English. There are boxes where they sell something to eat. It's really, really particular. And there are very, very beautiful fireworks. And most of them are during spring and summer. There is a very big festival which calls Festival della Taranta, which is during the month of August. And here they dance pizzica and play pizzica, which is the typical dance and the typical music of our region. It's really, really beautiful, and it's a really big festival.
Do you dance it? Do you dance pizzica?
No.
Ah, okay.
No. In Salento, I am Barese, but
Okay, so
yes, it's lower, the southern part of the region.
That's awesome. Well, it just all your pictures, your presentation was amazing. It just looks like a photographer's dream. Like every picture you showed was stunning. So
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Are there any questions? Is there any, Rhonda, that you had? questions?
No, you've done an amazing job. You've kind of covered it all. If anything, I was just kind of curious because I know in Europe, a lot of the beaches are fairly rocky. And you kind of, some of your beautiful pictures, it looked like some of the beaches were almost sand, or are they still fairly rocky a little bit further south?
The Adriatic coast is more rocky. So the Gargano, it's rocky, but there are also bays with sandy beaches and beaches with pebbles. The Adriatic coast, yes, is rocky, and the Ionian coast is more sandy. We have a part in the south of the Ionian region that calls Maldive, like the Maldive of Salento, because the beach is sandy, gold sandy beaches, and the water is really, really clear. So you can choose between a rocky or sandy beach. So and Salento, it's not really wide. So the lowest part of the region is called Salento, and it's not really wide. So if you are in the center of the Salento, in the half of an hour, you can reach or the Adriatic coast or the Ionian coast. So you can choose between which beach you can go. Yes.
You can go to both in the same day.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, I love it. I love it. This little area of Italy, you know, I know Italy itself is a small country in comparison to Canada, obviously, but this little area that you highlighted is such a little gem, and I can't wait to go and visit. It just looks fabulous. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing this.
We would be so lucky to have Mary Angela as the guide.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm here, so when you want, you can come here in Puglia.
Awesome.
I'm waiting for you.
Perfect. Well, thank you again so much. Is there anything that Francesca, Licio, is there anything you would like to add? We're so grateful to have you on today.
It was a great pleasure. I hope all of you enjoy this presentation with the lovely Mariangela. And so we are glad to welcome everybody here. Hope the normal life will be again soon. And then
No,
we are here. If you have questions, if they come on your mind in the next days, we are here for you. So anything you wish and anything you need.
Thank you. That's great. That's lovely. It's so nice. I just feel so proud to be partnered with companies like you. And yeah.
The same for us.
the same for us. Totally. Totally. Yeah. Yeah.
Great. Well, again, thanks everyone.
To the people who are here present today for their time and interest, because we must thank also our clients. I mean,
Absolutely.
So thanks to everybody for their time and interest in learning something more about Italia.
They know for sure that they can count on you if they wish to come here, and you can count on us. So
yeah, because we are you here.
That's right.
We love
I love it. I love it.
To the clients, because this is very important. We are here 24 hours a day, answering to any questions, helping, avoiding surprises while traveling, adding, deleting, making adjustments. So we are here with the clients, working together with you who are very far away. So sometimes it's very important for the clients to know, okay, what happened if while I am in Italy, something, I need something, but you are sleeping because you are in Canada, for example. But Francesca, Alessio, and in this case, speaking about Puglia, Mariangela, we are here. so we can assist the clients 24 hours a day, each day.
By the way, I sleep sometimes.
Yeah, let us sleep at least a couple of hours per night.
Well, it's so nice to know you guys are a peace of mind for us.
Now, we also love to meet people when they come here. Of course, we are based in Florence, so when now we are speaking about Puglia, it's a bit far from here.
Yeah.
But when clients come here, we like to meet them, to shake their hands when we will be able to do it, and so it's because we want and we need to create a personal relation with them while they're here, because we want them to stay well, to be okay when they're here. And know, as Francesca said, that if they need something, just pick up the phone and we do what they wish. So that's why we cooperate with you, because we know that you are looking for this kind of people. So that's important. That's important for us to let them enjoy their vacation, because they are on vacation. So it's important to let them
Must be
feel
no worries.
Yeah. Well, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We truly appreciate it, and it's such a joy.
Thanks to you. Thanks.
Have a great evening, and I'll just let everyone know next week our presentation is going to be on the island of Grenada in the Southern Caribbean. So we're looking forward to having the tourist board with us, and that will be at 1 o'clock next Thursday. So we'll send an email out about that. But again, thank you so much. You two and three, enjoy your evening, and we'll
enjoy your day.
Grazie mille.
And ciao.
ciao. Okay. Thank you. Thanks again.
Thanks, everybody.
Grazie. Bye
Ciao.
bye.
Ciao.
Ciao.